Hey, you all, welcome to Unity Coalition, Coalición Unida TV. Today is Monday, July 13th, and I'm your host, Samantha Letois. I want to say thank you all for watching us, and don't forget to follow every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 4 p.m. on Facebook Live fan page by Unity Coalition and 5 p.m. on Instagram and YouTube. And as I said, I'm your host, Samantha Letois, and this show is provided by Gilead Ambiente Magazine and, of course, Unity Coalition. Today, July 13, 4 p.m., two spirits, past, present, and future, with the revenue Houston Cypress and Durante Blais-BIlle. We're going to talk. She is the Miss Florida Seminole 2019-2020 and Seminole trip of Florida. So we're going to talk about the two spirits, and this is the second part of the last show. So I hope you love it. I hope you like it. And of course, we are still like helping that community for emergency fund coronavirus and helping the service community because they deserve it. Most of your bartenders, waiters, and that queen and artists are out of work. We need your help. Go to the website unitycoalition.org and scroll down until you see micro giving fund. Donate because every single coin is going right away to the community so we don't have any money. But if you don't have nothing, there's not a problem. Just share on your social media the link for Unity Coalition Micro Giving Fund, and there's people that it will help us together. We are continue helping the community and continue fighting each other. That's why I want to encourage you and continue wearing your mask. Put your gloves and also wash your hands every time that you go out. Esto no se ha terminado, así que sigamos utilizando nuestras máscaras, lavándonos las manos y colocándonos los guantes todo el tiempo que sea posible. Because it is important. We are in the time. The numbers are getting high, so please continue wearing your mask. Remember, Celebrate Orgullo is here from the 1 to the 15th, the 1st to the 15th. Unity Coalition Miami Hispanic Indigenous Pride Festival since 2011. I'm sorry. Go to the website celebrandoorgullo.com so you know more information about it. Also, unitycoalition.org. It will give you more information as well about Celebrando Orgullo at the Pride Festival Miami Hispanic Indigenous since 2011, October 1st to the 15th. Get more information and visit that website so you can participate and be one of our amazing performers for Celebrando Orgullo 2020. And today, let's give you look at this amazing picture. It's Sport Illustrated have a new cover for a beautiful transgender woman. Let me tell you all. This is a Brazilian woman and it's so beautiful, fantastic top model, and is now one of the cover for Sport Illustrated. So take a look. If you want just to get some comments, put your comments below what we are doing and what we can do for your community. Just go to the website every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 4 p.m. here on Facebook Live and put your comments, say that we love you, say that we are doing good. And if you want to get promoted on your business, just send an email and contact with us. Elevate Summer Camp is free and it's fabulous because it's virtual. Now with the COVID-19, we just want to continue helping the community and continue the community entertainment. Campy Camp Counselor, Craft, Comedy, and Kiki Weekly teams and games feature workshop tools for being nicer. What is Elevate? Elevate is one of the programs that Unity Coalition have every year, and we get used to do this kind of like show outside in the park that everybody loved it and enjoyed it. But now with the COVID-19, we just want to do that virtual so you stay in your home and keeping safe. Every Thursday, 7 p.m. on Facebook Live by Unity Coalition, just get free because it's free and fabulous. So Elevate Virtual Summer Camp is here for you. And today continue the two spirits, as I said, the past, the future, and the present. What we know about this community in South Florida, the Seminole Casino, what is these people doing? What is this title about with Durante being the Miss Florida Seminole 2019-2020? You want to get more about this? There you go. Thank you. Thank you for being with us here in UCTV Dante in Houston.
这样，达摩，你怎么？ Houston.
Good afternoon. It's nice to be with you here.
Thank you guys for being here in UCTV, and I want to start with Dante. Dante, you're so beautiful.
Oh, thank
You
you.
are so, oh my God, with that amazing costume. Tell me about how this represents for you in the community.
Yeah, so today I'm sporting my favorite regalia. That's how we call our traditional clothing. I'm wearing some coins, which are very traditional, and some patchwork. To add a bit of masculinity, I'm wearing my jacket. My title is Miss Florida Seminole. It's through a cultural pageant. Our community and our culture is usually matrilineal, so it's very important for us to have an ambassador who embodies that femininity, who is there to be there with the council and just really, I guess, nurture our tribe in that way as a community leader, as a role model, and also in the relationships our tribes have with other communities. So my title will be that ambassador that's there to nurture all of those things.
I know that it's getting a lot of responsibility how to put that title out there so people know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you something, Dante. Is this something that you want to choose to do it, or your family just put out there, or they have like a little bit to select what is the girl that is best representing for the community?
It's definitely something I wanted to at a very young age. Unfortunately, in my household, I didn't grow up speaking our indigenous language. So it was the first time I really saw people my age speaking it was at a pageant. And that was something I was enamored by. I wanted to be on that level where I could introduce my culture and my people in our language. And this pageant had really been the driving force for me to learn it and to sit down and say, okay, these are the dates I need to learn it by. And this is how I can best show my culture through the words that really embody our knowledge. So that was definitely, I think, language and learning that part of our culture was what drove me to be in this title, definitely. And then I was in this title in our younger portion, which is the junior miss when I was 16. And that really opened my eyes to the whole world of community development and community growth and how in this position I could really have an impact. And since then, I've just been, I have to get my degree. I'm going to finish university. I'm going to come back and do it. And that's just been what I wanted to do since then.
That's awesome. Congratulations. In behalf of all that community, that's pretty amazing. Representing, yourself, your community, your background. And as we said, it's a lot of responsibility that you have to, take care about it. I know that you're doing very well. I have this question for Houston. Houston, have you thought one time be Mr. Seminole?
Oh my God, let me tell you, like that just brings back such good memories. I really honor this project that the Miccosukee and the Seminole tribe are doing with the pageants, because a long time ago we used to have little Mr. Miccosukee and little Miss Miccosukee, and my mom likes to make a joke out of it because we like to say that I won little Mr. Miccosukee so many times that they had to finish the pageant. So let me tell you, like I used to be little Mr. Miccosukee back in like 1983, 1984, something like that. I was the original Honey Boo Boo.
And tell me, how was that experience? It was just like as now, as Dante is doing right
I
now
don't
with
know.
that parent.
I was such a baby. So all I have are these pictures of my mom loving me. And they love you when they make the beautiful little outfit for you. They give you the jacket, they give you the hair, they give you the jewelry. Like they love the baby when they put the baby in all this bling. So I just have pictures of like the bow and arrow. I have pictures of like the medicine man's outfit or like different warrior status. But I don't remember anything from that time because I was such a baby. But let me tell you what the community is trying to do with these kind of projects is to not only preserve the culture, but celebrate the culture with their families, with the next generation. So it's really a community effort when they teach the young people how to do the arts and crafts, what the clothing represents, what the recipes are about. So it's really a project of community pride. And so anytime like these kind of projects are happening, I'm so there for it. So like I'm so here for you, Durante.
Oh,
Like
thank
it's
you. Lavisha.
2020. Much respect to you.
Thank you so much. I think a really big thing that this role does is it's quite daunting, I think, as a young person because we have such reverence for our elders. But our community and this specific project of the pageantry, it really just lets you really, really talk to your elders in a way that you didn't think you could before. I think especially since in our culture, usually young people like me, we don't talk. We're not usually the presenters. So to have the support of your elders to play that role and to speak on their behalf, and that just there's so much respect in that I think that these types of projects where you're getting the youth involved and it has the support of the community, it really just solidifies that bond even further.
Absolutely, yes. I think that it gives you more perspective where you want to go through it. Now that you're talking about this dancing, I would like to ask you the conversation that we're going to have out today about two spirits. Tell me, I know that you said something to identify the two spirit or gender no binary, which is going to be like the same a little bit, gender no conforming. Tell me how this get as you identify how this get with your culture. Is that good? Is that bad?
You know, it was something growing up. I didn't see a lot of representation in my Seminole community of gender nonconforming people so much. So it was something where I was afraid to ask about it. I was afraid to vocalize it. I found that my masculinity was always interpreted as being lesbian, which was difficult for me, especially as a child who had never shown any sexuality in my personal life. So I think that that early misunderstanding in the community members I was with made me quite, I don't want to say closeted, but very confidential about it, I would say, would be a more proper word. Then a few years ago, I legally changed my name to my preferred name, which is Dante or Durante. And when that
Mhm.
happened, that's when I started hearing more of an acceptance from my community than I thought would ever be there. I remember going into the secretary's office to officially change my enrollment name to my preferred name. And I remember I was met with the reception, oh, are you transitioning? Oh, that's wonderful. I wasn't transitioning at the time because in my identity, I don't feel the need to besides how I'm socially transitioned. So it was just wonderful that I wasn't met with the scrutiny I thought I would be, especially taking that plunge of publicly changing my name. So it's just something I had been really confidential about because I assumed for my own self-preservation and my own safety in my mind that it would need to be confidential. But as I've been more vocal about it, it's just something that the community has been so supportive of. And you know, that's something that I wish more Native communities felt, especially more people within their gender identity. I think even in Native communities, we have very Western ideas of like gender and sexual identities, whereas I feel Two Spirit is so powerful because it gives us that positive, that spiritual context for these identities, that cultural context that is so important to understanding how we as people fit into our communities and nurture our communities.
That's good. Houston, I have this question for you. Do you think that being recognized or identified as a two spirit it will make you think or reacting or acting in a different way what your belief on your trips?
Well, let me tell you, this is a new idea that's coming to my community. Two Spirit is not an idea that exists in Miccosukee, and so like I've done a little bit of research in terms of reading and writing, but really it's about connecting with the Two Spirit community. And so I went on a road trip up to New York to attend the Northeast Two Spirit Society powwow. It's a very special gathering, and so there is where I made friends with people that identify as Two Spirit. And so like it's different for everybody. Like everybody has their own life to live. But what I took from this movement of healing was that we like for me I can be a gay man, but also find a space that honors my language, my ceremony, my medicine, and my community. Like identifying as a gay man doesn't always have that because that's like from a different world. But for me, like being Two Spirit, like helps me to really understand that, yeah, I can speak my language, I can be gay, I can be gender diverse, but still honor all the things that my ancestors were fighting for, and honor all the things that we're trying to give to the next generation of children. So for me, like, it has brought me incredible healing. But let me tell you, it's not something that originated in Miccosukee. It's an idea that indigenous people are sharing all around the continent. And so I think this is a really beautiful movement that we can get behind and get and support. And I think that's how it has impacted my life. And thank you for asking, Samantha.
No, you're welcome. I think that this is a great opportunity for everybody, not only you guys in your communities, it's for everybody just to know more about our feelings because we identify in a different community, we have different backgrounds, but some of the time if you think different from the your trip or your community, oh no, I'm a bad person, I'm going to the hell because I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it's not. Probably your thought that you have right now, somebody in the past have it, but they didn't say
Yeah.
it. They didn't say it. They just keep it on their mind. But happened. You're not the only person that thinking like this. Oh my God, because I'm indigenous and probably I love another indigenous. If that made me gay, no, no, that's probably the misconceptions that we are having. Probably, yes, as soon as you do something different and you get in love with that person, okay, so that's the way that you feel gay. But in that case, oh no, there's so many community. I know that there was indigenous in the Amazonas in Colombia that they have just to have one night with another man. And it doesn't make them that they are gay. It's just because for one night, they have to stay man to man just to stay stronger for the trip. And for somebody else, it would say like, no, girl, you're gay, but it's not the way, it's maybe your thought. Next question for the beautiful Dante. Dante, is this title is only for a year around, or you can select just to apply it again for 2 more years? Like a presidential is something because it's a lot of work. I know that you have to put your community out there every time that you got an interview. You just gotta let to the people what this means for you and what this respect that they, in order just if I go to the Miccosukee, I have to respect, the culture and the tree. So is that 1 year, or you can apply for more, or you just like I'm done with this?
Yeah, so the reign is 1 year, and like I mentioned before in our talks before show, it's through a cultural pageant. So we'll have a series of judges fly in, usually prominent indigenous features, either in pageantry itself or just in community development. So it's through a strenuous process of that pageant that you're elected, and you only serve for that 1 year. So the only time you would ever really be doubling up on reigns is if you were in a younger age category as Little Miss or Junior Miss, and then going into the Miss Florida Seminole. But typically it is just that 1 year. They try to make it that way. We also refer to it as the Princess Program. So that's also a
Mm-hmm.
fun little tidbit. With COVID-19, though, we're unsure if the pageant will be able to commence. So that's something we're still waiting on the committee for. But it's usually with the 1 year reign, yeah.
Okay, okay. And how many contestants are there in each pageant?
It really depends on, I suppose, the year. There's not a huge pool of our population. We only have about 5,000 members of the Seminole tribe. Actually, a bit under 5,000, but I'm going to cap it at that. And it's really people based in Florida who could actually participate. I mean, you can fly in, but it's quite difficult. And I think it really depends on the year and the age category. So for my age category, it's 18 to 25. I'm pretty sure there were 6 of us running when I got the title. But, from year to year, it really depends on the girls and the age population of who's going, who's not. There are some requirements that make it a bit more restrictive of who can go, and that would just be things like you have to have a natural hair color, tattoos, you can't be a mother already. So it's just depending on things like that and how the life of our community fluctuates would be who's going to run that year. But usually I would say it's about anywhere from 2 to 6 girls or something like that.
Okay. In plus of that, I think that you have to have and specifically acknowledge about your culture, about what you're gonna do, because for a presentation and interview, you have to, put out there your culture and who people know more about you. Dante, let me ask you, what is your recommendation for people, like me, we are Latinos and we want to know more about this your trip, about this kind of like festival because this is like a festival, it's a celebration, the culture and everything. How we can get involved more into the community?
Yeah, I think definitely it seems like a daunting process, especially since with cultural understanding, you have to not take it personally for not just my tribe, but lots of Native and Indigenous communities, that it's okay that they're not sharing everything with you, but they want you to come, they want you to see. I think
Yes.
the museum is my favorite thing. I really love the history of our tribe. I think it's very unique, especially if you're here in Florida, to learn what happened on these lands. Why is this land sovereign as it is now? Why are the Seminoles here? It's just very, very fulfilling, I think, to know that story of why we're here in Florida. So the museum's a great way to go. But besides that, we have community things like our tribal fair every February down in the Hollywood Reservation. We also have our Brighton Field Day if you're not in the Southeast. That's wonderful to go to. And I think just ways like those you're able to see the community and eat the food that we make. I think that's another important thing to understanding our culture,
Yes.
is seeing us make our crafts in person and eat our food and make our food for you to eat. I think it seems daunting, but us Seminoles, we really want to connect to the community. And if we're not sharing something, it's not because we don't want you to know, it's because that's very sacred to us. But we're more than happy to share with things and to accept people into our communities like that.
That's good. And we have to respect there are so many things that people cannot know and just to contribute and, preserve it, the community. As I said, Houston, what's your favorite plate in your community? What's your recommendation? What I can eat?
All right, if you can come to the events, I recommend deer meat, venado. It's really beautiful, this deer meat that we can prepare for you. Also, I recommend the swamp cabbage. It's a really beautiful vegetarian dish that's available for you. And let's see. Oh, drink some of the sofki, which is like a warm soup drink that we drink with every meal that comes from cornmeal, corn, maize. So these are my recommendations for you.
Oh my God, that's very good and it sounds delicious. Sounds delicious. I'm starving right now. I'm starving right now. Houston, what's the population of the Miccosukee in South Florida?
Oh my God, let me tell you, everybody's trying so hard.
Yeah.
But like the population right now is about, I don't know, over 600 people. And so we have a small community just west of Miami, which is the homeland of the Miccosukee tribe in the Florida Everglades. And it's about 600 and plus people. There used to be more communities. Like within the tribe, we have families, and the families we call clans, clanes. And so my clan is the Otter clan. And so multiple clans, multiple families make up the entire tribe. And so I'm from the Otter clan. But like in in historical times and even before colonization, there used to be more clans. So it's a result of the war and the history that we have, the situation that we have today. But I'm really happy that people like Dante are really embodying the knowledge that we're trying to pass on to the next generation. But that's where we stand. We have about 600 people in Miccosukee, but let me tell you, everybody's trying so hard.
I know you just gotta keep on trying, honey, so this population can grow fast and fast, honey. We have
Right.
one question for our people right now, and I know if you guys can answer this. Our amazing friend Dan Rio Papacito, I love you. You're the best. He's
Okay.
asking where we can sample these delicious dishes.
I'll go on for in our Atlatiki Museum out in the Big Cypress Seminole Reservation. There's a cafe called Swamp Water Cafe. Sometimes they have this options like the swamp cabbage stuff, but there you can try a few of the dishes. If not, we have a Seminole village that is in that museum. And sometimes you'll find the ladies cooking under the chiki, and that's when you can try the dishes. Besides that, it's really those community events, that tribal fair again in February here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood. or the Brighton Field Days on our Brighton reservation, which takes place, I'm pretty sure in March or no, late February. Late February, yes. So really at those community events or at our museum, you can try some of those dishes out for the Seminole tribe.
And
Oh,
I
okay.
have recommendations for you. You know, like these are events and these are venues that Durante's telling us about, but show some, like, let's support the economy of the Seminole and the economy of the Miccosukee. Hire the catering services.
Mhm.
We have people like Iona's Fry Bread, amazing historical, really well loved catering service. And then we have Cheyenne, who does the Cheyenne's Fry Bread. So there's people that can come and cater your parties, cater your events, that can bring the love and the flavor of these cultures and these histories to your events. So like share the love economically too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's very good. I would like to ask you something, guys, regarding that. We were talking about the Two Spirits. Tell me the Two Spirits Tuesday project.
Oh, yeah. So it's something that I initiated, I wanted to be a collective effort. That's why I got my mentor Houston on board. It's something that I
Hey,
initiated with my committee. It was supposed to be just a small event to happen in Pride. Our tribally endorsed person from my tribe has never even commented on the LGBTQ plus community, let alone Two Spirit community. So it was something that was really, I was unsure if they would even agree at this point. So it was really a shot in the dark. And I've just received so much support from my committee that we're making it a year-round, year-long project because it's something that I'm very passionate about, especially with seeing that my community has received it so well. So it's really just a project about, just making our history and our affirmations of Two Spirit identities available to the people through social media, whether it be youth or people, elders who didn't know before. Like Houston said, this is a new idea for our communities. So it's really important to get this network, this information out there for our people to try to affirm our identities and create a space where everyone can have the services and policies that help them be themselves.
and
Okay,
let me
okay.
let me let me
And
let me let me share some ideas on that too. Because like Two Spirit Tuesdays, like I was really happy that Durante was doing this project. It's very historic and historical because it's the first of its kind where we're doing it, like here in the southeast. But historical because we want to like really link it to like what has happened to the Indians since 1492. But I think that at the same time, like it's a beautiful way of like bringing people together through social media, through using the technology, and so I'm really happy that people like Durante are taking leadership on this level. Like so many young people are taking leadership, and we have to support the next generation because it's their world. Like they're going to have to carry these things forward. So it's about bringing the magic, bringing the inspiration, and bringing the arts and the love too. So like I'm really happy to like support what Durante is doing. Tune in, go on to social media, follow Two Spirit Tuesdays. We
Yeah,
have a lot more coming for you.
definitely.
what about the non-native, native like people that they don't consider no native? They can participate in the Two Spirits
Oh,
Tuesday.
yeah, I think that's really important for non-native people to understand, the history of America and what we as native people are facing, the violences that indigenous bodies, especially two-spirit people face today. It's really it affects all of us in the sense of we can all change those policies in healthcare, in jurisdiction, in family services. We all have a responsibility to make sure that people are affirmed in their identity and receive this life-changing structural health and even community changes. So, understanding the people whose land you occupy and understanding how their identities and histories work, that's something that's so important. And I really encourage non-natives to participate, just anyone to participate. I think it's just really important to understand where everyone's coming from and how Two-Spirit affirmation is at its primary basis a health intervention. We're saving lives by letting people be who they're being. Queer indigenous bodies, we face such violence at such alarming rates that it really is of all communities, native and not, to understand that this is the work that needs to be done to save our people.
Yes.
That's absolutely amazing. And with that being said, let me tell you guys, And for my people, if you want to get more information about the Native American, what's going on, let's continue to watch this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful talk show that we are having with Houston, Cypress, and Dante, because we're going to continue talking about Two Spirits and what is going on with that, our community. And before that, let me remind you, Elevate Virtual Summer Camp is here because it's free and fabulous. Get connected with us every Thursday, 4 p.m., 7 p.m. on Facebook fan page by Unity Coalition because it's interacting. Get more information at unitycoalition.org. Campy Counselor is me, Samantha Let's Let's get fun and let's get nothing toxic, honey. So just be nice. That's Elevate Virtual Summer Camp every year by Unity Coalition. And remind to the people that you are not alone. The service community that lost their job, and we are continue helping the community. Microgiving Fund Coronavirus Crisis is here for you. If you've been affected by COVID-19, you lost your job, you don't have any income, go to the website coalition.org and fill out the form, send them to us, and wait for that answer. If you want to continue supporting us, donate because every single coin going right away to the community so we don't hold anything. Share on your social media. There's so many people that continue helping with us. And this is now over. Everything is going on and the numbers are getting high. Continue wearing your mask, wash your hands, and put your gloves every time that you're going out. Utiliza tu máscara, ponte los guantes y siempre que vayas a salir, lávate las manos porque es más importante. So that's my recommendation for all of you guys. Let's continue talking about this is what's going on. Let's check it out. This amazing image from the artist. The work started. The Crazy Horde is the world's largest mountain crabbing located in the Black Hills. Guys, let me tell you, what do you think about this? It is good, it is bad, just to have a remember about an indigenous crabbing in a rock. Houston.
I think it's a little bit of a, like, you have to look at it from multiple layers and multiple perspectives. So like, is it like, I don't know too much about like who's the artist behind this work. So I don't know if it has been approved by the indigenous community, like we're okay with it or not. I don't know. But like sometimes it's okay to make monuments and histories that celebrate where we came from and what we're trying to uphold as communities. Like that's really great. But like societies evolve, communities change, and so like what was good before may be different today, because today we might be talking about a situation where we're trying to talk about liberation for gender identity, and so like we might have to look at things from a new perspective. So things evolve and things change. That's what I'm saying. But it reminds me of the situation with the butter, the Land O'Lakes person. Like that was an image that was created by an indigenous person that knows the priorities and the concerns of his people, and it was uplifting the arts and culture and uplifting the land and the river. But like the feeling of society changes. So what may have been good before, things may not be the same today, especially if we're dealing with a situation that is like looking at police brutality and our brothers and sisters in the Black community who are dealing with oppression. So like, where are we today? And I think I really appreciate what my friend from the last week was saying, Garrett Stewart. Like, do I want to be a good friend or do I want to be an asshole? And so like, it really depends, like, where are we in the society today? But like, ultimately, what is my opinion? My opinion is, don't change the mountain. If you want to uplift the people, create a sculpture, create a painting, create a dance, create a dish, a food. But like, I'm just an environmentalist and I don't want to see the mountain change. So like, that's my position. But really, we have to respect the community that it affects. So like, let's ask them as well.
Yeah, I think definitely my position on this is very similar in the sense that it goes back to this phrase we might have heard of, land back. And giving back the land doesn't mean, letting this person have ownership. It's about stewardship. And what that means is letting these people who are thousands of years, who understand the land, who understand its sacredness, let them have a say in how that land's treated. These are their methods of treating land and preserving land. These aren't just out of nowhere. These aren't just made in the last 50 years. These aren't things that have fluctuated here, there, and there. It's really at the basis of our communities, to preserve this land, to steward it because it's sacred and it's here for us. It provides for us. And we want it to keep being in their relationships with our communities for thousands more years to come. So I think what Houston said, it's not for us to decide. It's for the community that stewards that land to really have that opinion on.
It is. It is. Now let's check it out. This image, and it's about the tribe and indigenous. Now regarding the U.S., which is, I know that it has to be by the community. I know that when they try to do any monuments or any like reinforcing for the community, it has to be approved by the tribe or the community. Do you think that all community in Native American they agree with this image?
I'll go first. I think it's really quite a concept to understand that even in our tribes, like Houston said, those clans, we all have different traditions and we all run differently. Even in our singular societies of Miccosukee and Seminole, within those sub clans, we have different values, we have different ways of doing things. And I think it's really just being able to wrap our heads around, there's so many, it's a polyphonic, I guess, narrative going into all of these things. So it's okay for us to have different opinions, and it's okay for us to sit there and prioritize, well, who is this affecting, who's stewarding this, who's doing this and that. It's about having that conversation and acknowledging that these conversations need to be had, and that it's not just one spokesperson for all Native people saying, oh, that's not offensive to me, or this is okay. It's about coming together as different communities and acknowledging our different values to come to an understanding.
And I think I want to add that we're looking at this really beautiful sculpture right now, like in the corner of the screen, but I don't know too much about it. And then there was like a little bit of information on screen. Can you put it back?
Yes, it says it's a sculpture, a book overlooking by Missouri River near to Chamberlain, South Dakota. It's a 5-foot, 15.24 meter high stained steel statue by South Dakota artist Lauriu Del Cloud. It's an indigenous woman in plain style dress receiving a star. So
I think this
status means dignity.
Yeah, it looks like a really beautiful piece of artwork, and we can interpret it from many perspectives, like art history. We can look at the way, how it is executed as an artist, and what is the message saying. But I want to come from this very specific artwork and zoom out a little bit and talk a little bit more about where we stand today in the relationship or the possible relationship that we have with the United States. Because it was I think in 2007, 2008, 2009 that there was an artist who brought to our attention a historical event. And what I'm talking about is the United States apology to indigenous people. Because we have a very difficult history with the United States, with the Europeans, ever since the 1492 arrival. And a lot of good things have happened, but a lot of very difficult things have happened too. And we have to grow from that. So what I'm talking about is that there was a poet who created a series of poetry that was inspired by the apology of the United States to the Indian people. So the United States actually apologized to the indigenous communities, but not very many people know about it until the poet brought it to our attention. So we're in the context of reconciliation. The United States authorized it, but who really wants that? Does the United States want to apologize and make friends again? Do the Indians want to make friends with the United States? But that's where we are. And so I think that we have an opportunity for healing right now. But who wants to support that? And so that's really a call to action. Who wants to support that? Contact us. Let us know. I'm really interested in having that conversation. But we really have to look towards the artists as the leaders of conversations, because they're able to give us an intersection of ideas and methodology that really can open up new worlds. And so I'm looking forward to the indigenous artists the indigenous women, the indigenous communities to open up a space and show us leadership of what do we really need to work on. So let's support our indigenous artists.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, Houston. In my own bias, I love art history. I refer to it as visual culture because the concept of art doesn't exist in a lot of indigenous societies. So, it's a really powerful tool to show our values, to show what we believe, and not only that, but the traditions that have been handed down to us that shape our aesthetics as people, shape what we want to show to the world. And at the basis of it, art is a negotiation of our identity. Especially contemporary art like this statue, it's negotiating what it means to be an Indigenous person today for the artist, and also as it's a community project for his people, it's negotiating what they want to present to the people, a call to action for them. Honor the woman, honor her, she's sacred. Bring attention to the people who are going missing and murdered. It's really just about representing what our values are and what we want people to see from us. So I think art is very, very powerful. All visual culture is very, very powerful. And we need to give people who have been marginalized historically in these narratives of art, we need to give them a platform so they can finally have their say in this narrative. So it would not just be one voice dictating what's being represented, but there needs to be a lot more of a platform for people who have been pushed aside.
Yes.
Yes, that's totally correct. Guys, let's talk about now the icons and the representation for the mascot. Let's take a look for this sport team that now they want to change their name because probably it's not relating to the community. Let's start with the Redskins. What do you think, guys? That is, it is important to represent in the community in the sporting mascot. Now that they want to do all these things, like change the name or the icon, Houston.
Like I said, I'm sorry. Like I said, things change, feelings change, communities and people on this land change. But like, there's things that we're trying to hold on to as people, and it's about dignity, and it's about respect for each other. And so, like, there's an opportunity to respect people. Like, yeah, this is inspired by a real person. Maybe the artwork was created by the indigenous people. But how much are we respecting people when we're like at a sports event? We had like a 6 pack. We drink all this beer. We're so drunk. We're like and just being like silly and stupid. Like that's not the place where we want to like uplift people. And if we like, maybe if it is that place, maybe we want to do it in a better way. But I think that times have changed and it's time to move on. And I'm really happy for it. And I'm really happy because like last year, I supported a creative activism strategy to bring attention to this. Like there was people like Rebecca Nagel, who is a really well-known journalist who created like a prank, like a joke website. And it was like saying that the Redskins decided to change their name like last year. And so the Redskins had to like respond. So like I'm really for creative ways of bringing attention to the issue. But I'm over it. It's time to move on. It's a good thing. And I look forward to their new name so we can have good games and celebrate in the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to share with you guys this and that the comments that we finding about this news, and it says we have made clear from the start that this movement was never about political correctness, but seeking to prevent unnecessary harm for our youth. Since we know from social sciences that many harmful effects this mascot has had on a Native American self-image, today mark the start of a new chapter for the NFL and the Washington Frankie's beginning a new legacy for that can be more inclusive for fans of all backgrounds. I think that's a great. Oh my God! If it's that the way they want to putting out there, that's good to know.
And like if they want to keep the indigenous presence there, I totally welcome the new team to have land acknowledgement at every game.
So we are more inclusive just to have more and more cultures. Do you think that that's a great for other sport teams just to maybe change their title, their name? Dante.
I think this is a call to action for media in the United States generally. When we see Native American representation, it's so even if, we see a lot of appropriation of even just patchwork, which for our traditions is quite secular, but that decontextualization is so harmful to our people. It just takes away our entire history, our culture of developing these things, whether it be our likeness. If it's decontextualized, it does so much harm. It really does. It takes away our voice, it takes away our story, it takes away our history, and it gives that power to people who are representing it in a way that it's not helpful to us necessarily. So I think for all media, this is a start. We really need to we need to stop the decontextualization of Native American imagery, just even on anything from, like, let's say a surfboard or someone's cool Urban Outfitters jacket or something like that. It needs to stop being decontextualized. We need to recognize that this is harmful, especially when it's something like a slur, as we've seen with this team name. It just is really harmful to not hear the voices of the people that you're removing this imagery, that you're removing this representation from, when they're calling out to you and pleading with you that this is painful to us. So I think that a lot of other media outlets and media representation of Natives needs to catch on to this and really need to have this sort of urgency to change things for our communities.
Okay,
Samantha,
good. Yes.
Samantha, I just want to take this time to let our friends know that I'm really happy to be supporting the Unity Coalition organization, not only as a friend, but as a member of the board of directors. And so, I really trying to advance the conversation. So next Wednesday on July 22, I'm going to be hosting another conversation to talk about these very important issues, but from this perspective of the arts and coalition building. So I want to invite our viewers to tune in on Wednesday, July 22. I'm going to have a really nice conversation with the arts community here in South Florida. And the people that I'm going to be inviting to join the discussion include Joseph Cloud, who's a part of the Cherokee Nation, and is also a Miami Fellow, who is a longtime resident of Miami for 20 years. We're also going to have a Kunya Rowley, who's an amazing opera singer, and Pioneer Winter from the Pioneer Winter Collective. These are amazing artists that are working here in South Florida, and I'm going to call on them because they're doing good work talking about history, talking about site-specific artwork, and how can we, using the arts, bring attention to the history, to the histories, and build coalition around this matter. So, friends and family, I just want to invite you to join the conversation next Wednesday, July 22, to talk about history, art, and coalition building.
Okay, guys, with all being said, just to stay connected with us, because the next Wednesday we're going to talk about the second part with Houston, Cypress, and all these conservatives and information for our culture to preserve it, our story, and more that we need to know about our community. Continue with that. Let me remind you, Celebrate Orgullo is here, October 1st to the 15th. You want to participate, you want to get involved with that, just go to and check it out. Our website, celebrandoorgullo.com, and also unitycoalition.org or coalicionunida.org. Go ahead and check it out, one of these three websites, so you can get involved and know more about Celebrando Orgullo, October 1st to the 15th, because remember that Celebrando Orgullo is the Miami Hispanic and Indigenous Pride Festival since 2011. So for all of you want to get, let me share with you what I'm doing for Celebrate Orgullo. A few days, let's say during this weekend, I went to Key West, which was amazing, and promoting Celebrate Orgullo, and it was good. And there's so many people that they want to be part of the show, but the best part is just to recognize yourself what's part of your orgullo, because sometimes your orgullo is, for you guys said, is the trip, is building your community. Probably my orgullo is just to dance, show more about my culture, my community, being Latino. But in Key West, it was just more like just to have a little bit of Americans and at the same time more Latino people, and then it's a mix of culture. So it was very, very good just to get involved in promoting Celebrando Orgullo. As I said, October 1st to the 15th. Get more information, celebrandoorgullo.com. We need performance, we need artists, we're gonna have fun. And the best part, because it's free, you don't have to pay nothing. You want to participate with us? Just get involved, celebrate Orgullo from the October 1st to the 15th, and it's fabulous and it's free. Guys,
And
let me tell
Samantha,
you,
celebrate
yes,
Orgullo. Part of the festivities of Celebrate Orgullo, I'm going to take a hiking group into the Big Cypress, into the Everglades. So come celebrate your pride, but also come celebrate your connection to the land with Celebrate Orgullo.
absolutely. Let's check it out. Look and check it out. The flyers that we have for Celebrate Orgullo. On the background, you can see it's started from October 1st to the 15th. We have October 1st at the University Virtual Forum, and the October 2nd night of 1,000 virtual start from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then we have October 4th, exploring our ancestor and with Houston Cypress. Ooh, got you, honey.
Woo!
We got you here on October 6th. We have Blackout Performance, Math Book, and Global Activity celebrating Math for Charity. So you want to get more and more information. We're gonna have fun from October 1st to the 15th. I want to invite you, all of you. Let's check it out. Tony Enos is gonna be part of our show. We're gonna have a lot of performers, and that's gonna be the best part. Free, free, free because we have it. Performers from Key West, from all over the world. We're gonna have performers from Mexico, US, Colombia, Key West, Canada, French, Argentina. So we are breaking the barriers. This is Celebrando Orgullo, October 1st to the 15th para nuestra comunidad latina, nuestro Festival Orgullo desde el 2011, el primer festival latino indígenas de nuestra comunidad desde el 2011 aquí en el sur de la Florida para que no se lo puedan perder. Visiten nuestra página web celebrandoorgullo.com si quieren hacer parte de este maravilloso evento. With all that said, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us and thank you for your time, for being on the show with me. Thank you, Dante. Thank you, Houston. Houston, I'll see you on Wednesday. And let's say bye to the people. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys so much. Goodbye. It was such an honor to be here.
And remember, friends, tune in to us on Two Spirit Tuesday, social media. We'll see you there.
Absolutely. Let's continue with Two Spirits on Wednesday, the second part with Houston Cypress. And with all that said, guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching us. Continue wearing masks, put your gloves on, and wash your hands because this is not over. I'm your host, Samantha Letwine. Thank you for joining us. This is UCTV, entertaining music and news. See you next time.